Hi, my name is David Wandless. I'm one of the trainers with the Accountants Division within Sage. Now, over the past few months, we've been running a series of webinars and seminars introducing the concept of RTI, real-time information. Now, this is the new legislation which is being brought in by HMRC, which will become mandatory from April 2013. Now, since the original videos, webinars and seminars were done, things have changed slightly. So this is just a quick update to let you know about some of the changes which have been taking place to make sure that if you do want to be involved, you have all the facts to hand. Now, the way I'm going to deliver this is a series of questions which have been raised by our customers, by the accountants, and I'm going to answer each of these for you. One of the key things which has changed is to do with the soft launch. We are able to now accept people who would like to be part of the soft launch through for a longer period. HMRC has extended the deadline now to the end of June. Now, what this means is we can accept names of companies that you would like to involve in the soft launch right the way through till the 27th of June. At that point, we will then collate the information, send it through to HMRC, who will then have the final say as to which companies they accept into the soft launch period. Now, the soft launch period runs for either November or December this year, or March next year. January and February are not options, and this is because of the self-assessment period. So HMRC is aware they will be busy, their gateway will be busy, so they have ruled those 2 months out. RTI is going to change quite a lot of things about how people need to process their payroll. What it will involve is a number of additional steps. Now, the first step is that every time you accept your company, it will need to be submitted as part of an alignment submission. So that information is so that HMRC is aware of who the employees are, what those employees have been earning up to the point you start using RTI. So at that point, every time you run your payroll, there will then be one extra step in addition to doing your enter payments, your pre-update reports, and your update records. There will be an extra option now within the payroll software which will allow you to submit that information for what is happening on that actual payroll through to HMRC. Now, the information you are submitting at that point is employee specific. So for each person, it sends through their pay, that is their net and their gross. It sends through their tax, their national insurance, any student loan deductions which have been made, and a full set of year to date. Now, further than that, it also then requires that every time you are about to pay the HMRC themselves, if you are not making a full payment, so let's say the program says it should be £5,000 you're paying, if for any other reason you're not making a full payment, you must disclose that at the relevant time to HMRC. April 2013 will mean a difference in process for those who are using RTI at that point, so those who have joined the soft launch and those who have not. So we know that payroll year end is our busiest time of year, both for technicians and for you as people running payrolls. It is inevitable that with RTI coming in April, that there will be a much larger workload coming through at that point. For companies who are part of the soft launch, it's important to realize that there would be no full payroll year end next year. Because your initial submission includes all of the year to dates, and each submission from then on shows what they've been paid period by period, HMRC has all of the figures, they have all of the numbers to hand. All you would submit at that point is the 4 or 5 tick boxes which currently form part of your P35. Now, it's important to realize also that because Sage is so busy, we know that we're going to be very busy at that point in time. HMRC is aware of this. That is why they have made soft launch available to us. It will be a significant benefit to those who join early because we will be able to spread your workload throughout the year. So using the November, December periods and then March. It does mean that Sage will be able to offer a more direct service to you if you are getting involved early. Signing up for RTI is the same as it was in the previous presentations, previous videos, webinars and seminars. It hasn't changed. Effectively, you log on to the Sage website onto a specific part which lists your companies. You choose which month you wish to go live in, so whether that's November, December or March. You tick off the companies that you would like to bring in that month. And one thing that has changed, however, is you now need to enter the tax office reference. Now, this was not required on previous submissions, but for any companies joining now, you do need to record that. This is not automatically on the page. It is the one piece of information you must manually enter, and it is a company-specific piece of information. A couple of other things on that. If there are any companies you would like to bring into soft launch, but who do not already appear on the list, you do have an Add button. Click on Add, set the month you would like them to begin, put in their full range of details and submit those. We do recommend, however, doing this in stages. You may want to choose to bring in a few companies at once, submit those, make sure you set the date again, submit those, and so on. That does allow you, therefore, to bring in some companies in November, some in December, and then a further set of companies in March. And we are recommending March as the ideal time to bring in your annual payrolls or your less frequent payrolls, as otherwise it will result in additional workflow for you. Once we have all of the information for the companies that wish to be involved in the soft launch, Sage will then collate all of that, make sure there's no duplicates and so on, and we then submit that at the end of June to the HMRC. HMRC has reserved the right to pull companies out of soft launch if they deem fit. Now, we don't expect them to pull many. It may be if there's an ongoing case against someone, for example, but at that point HMRC will then confirm back to Sage who is involved in soft launch and which months they are going to go live in, whether that's November, December or March. Now, as soon as we have that information, Sage will be in contact with you as the agent rather than the individual businesses, so that you will know which list of your clients you will be bringing onto RTI and at what time. Now, once you've had confirmation of that from Sage, you probably won't hear from us for a little while at that point. 8 weeks prior to going live, we will then contact everybody who's about to go, giving them some tips of what they need to do at that point. Now, that will include things like template letters, which you may want to send out to your clients. It will include things like reports which you can add into your software, which will assist you with data validation. We will then have a solid pattern of communication through for that 8 weeks. So every few weeks, you will hear from us again. What you'll see coming up on the video now is a list of information. Now, this is where you can get further information from Sage and also from HMRC about RTI. One of the pages has links to the previous videos. There's also a full webinar which was shot and does have some of the comments and queries built into it from our customers and our accountants. There's also a link to a blog there by Nielsen Watts, one of our payroll specialists within Sage. Now, that does also have some information from the HMRC, and I would recommend looking at that and keeping that in your favorites, because it will be updated frequently as we work through the RTI program. Thank you for listening.